Ah! Hi, welcome to 15 Minute Tabletop. I made an RPG in a week, a tabletop RPG, and I'm gonna sell it to you in 15 minutes, and you guys are gonna love it. It's not the most polished thing ever, but I mean, it's something new. I'm a really big fan of D&D, but one thing that I think that you can't really do with it is play games of other genres. I mean, you can, but it's not made for it. So what I did today is I made the game Splatter for you, okay? And we're gonna be talking about Splatter. It is a 90s slasher inspired TTRPG. And there's a few things that I wanna talk to you guys about it. So first of all, it's really simple. I wanted it to be really easy to play. Your characters, I want them to be more unique based on their personality. So your stats aren't crazy. It takes you maybe a minute to make a character. You roll your stats, and you pick one keystone ability that we'll talk about later. But it's really easy. You take maybe a minute, you roll 66, and you have all of your stats, your basic kind of stats. There are no unique skills. Everything is a stat-based roll, which means that you just pick it and then you roll for it. You decide how you want to do something. You make it pretty simply, and then you roll for your roll. It's a D10 based system mostly. Basically, you're gonna roll your dice. It's kind of like Call of Cthulhu if you've ever played it. You roll your dice, you roll below your stat, you succeed, and you don't have to worry about it. I did want it to be a little bit challenging, so I made the stats pretty low. It's you roll a d6 for your stats, which means that whenever you roll a d10, even if you have the highest stat, there's still a 40% chance of you failing. But your keystone can affect your abilities, so you can make that a little higher. But it's a horror movie. I want you to fail. I want you to fail and die. Not you. I want your characters to fail and die. But that's where we get to some of the more interesting parts of the gameplay, is that combat is non-existent. Well, it exists, kind of. It's less combat, it's more escape. It's more, I want to get away from the killer. If you think of games like Resident Evil, like Dead by Daylight, you're not killing this thing that's hounding you. You're more so just temporarily putting it off so that you can escape from it. You can live for the time being, but you're still always just a little bit in danger. And I really wanted that feeling to stick throughout the game. So what I did is combat is not HP based. It's health state based for you. Player characters are health state based. Basically, each time that you would take damage normally in a game like D&D, you essentially just are wounded a little bit. It becomes a little bit harder to succeed at things, but you're still alive. You're still kicking. And then you get wounded one more time. It's a little bit harder, which means that it's pretty hard at this point to succeed at things, but you're still alive, and then you die. And death is a little bit more complicated in this game than it would be in something like D&D. You die in D&D, maybe you get resurrected, maybe you just flat out die, you have to make a new character. But the way that I designed this game, it's short. It's not like long base campaigns, so it's short, so when you die, you're dead. You are done, but you're a ghost. So you can help your teammates still, even though you are fully deceased. You can come back and help your teammates in little ways, in ways that maybe they wouldn't have succeeded, but you can help them just a little bit more with your last dying breath as they're trying to escape this killer. I'm really excited to it. I'm gonna explain a couple of the more bigger mechanics in depth in the next section. But I hope you guys are excited for this. So, like I said, this game was designed to be played in shorter sessions. I'd say rather than these year or two long fantasy escapades, you're going to be playing more one or two sessions that are a little bit shorter, but it's going to be more jam-packed with detail. Think about it less where D&D plays a novel, or something like Cyberpunk would play a TV show. Splatter is going to play more like a movie. So essentially, you're making your characters, and they're playing their role in the movie. And so I wanted to have a system that was more impactful for those like short-term scenarios. So no one is going to be going on these like huge min-maxing character building adventures. Essentially, what you're doing is you have these 6 stats. You have your strength, you have your speed, your skill, your arcane stat, your intelligence stat, and your fate stat. And each of these can be like attributed to essentially like if I wanted to lockpick something, maybe I would use like a skill check. If I wanted to run away from someone and I was in like a non-scenario, like a non-map based scenario, then I'm using my speed stat. If I needed to like push something to make like a barricade, maybe I'm using my strength stat. And essentially the way that you want to go about things is you want to do them in a way that you can use the stat in which you are best honed in. And so something that I wanted to do as well was make abilities more impactful, but more risky to use. So I wanted this risk reward based system. So as you're making your character, you choose what I called keystones, which are based off of some of the major arcana tarot cards, because you know I wanted something a little witchy for my horror TTRPG. And so you get these keystones. For example, like you get to use these once per entire campaign. So you should hold on to these until they're the most pivotal for you, until you can get the most value out of them. So if you use one of these at the wrong time, then that's it. That's all you get. So you want these to be as impactful as possible. And the way that these work is there's something like, say I were going to take damage. That's really bad in this game. You want to stay as healthy as possible for as long as possible. If you are playing the Fool, then you can ignore that once. If you're playing the Lover, you can maybe like trade one of your health stats. So maybe my friend got damaged. They need to succeed this check. I can make it a little bit easier for them by taking damage myself and healing them 1 health state. So I wanted these to be like very impactful and maybe a little like game breaking, but it's only once. It's only once. It's nothing like insane, like you immediately take over everything. You can choose whatever you want to do. But they're impactful for these very like human, normal people that you're going to be playing. And I think that it helps that like scraping feeling that I want you to have while you're playing this game. This like, I need everything to survive. I need every last bit of safety that I can get, because if I die, I'm dead. And the next mechanic I wanted to cover is something a little bit less player-sided and a little bit more GM-sided. So your GMs are going to be in charge of your killers, and I wanted it to be like an actual slasher franchise. I'm a big fan. I feel very normal about 90s slashers. Halloween is one of my favorite movies ever. I think it's like not great, but I think it's amazing. And I wanted that like iconic sense of killer identity. And so what I've done is I've allowed our GMs to base their killers around whatever they want and keep them consistent. That's the main thing that I key on, is you want this killer to feel like they have one goal in mind. And so as you're trying to go around and maybe either survive or defeat this killer, they're going to be chasing you down and trying to kill you in whatever way that they think is most effective. It's like a game of cat and mouse, which is essentially what you get in like these movies like Halloween or Scream. And as you slowly start to dwindle down, it'll get a little bit more difficult to survive, but you'll also have your other teammates as spirits trying to help you along the way. So I want to make a cover for at least this rule book, but I'm not very artistically talented. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab some things I think from around my house. I'm gonna take a picture for it. And all of this is in the description for you. With this series, I'm going to be making an alpha of some kind of tabletop game for you guys. I'm going to be trying to do it every other week. So I'll work on this for a week, and then I'll give it to you guys. And I want you to play it. I want you to tell me how you feel about it. You can leave it in the comments. I'm going to be starting an Instagram page, and I'll link that. You guys can tell me about it there. But essentially, I want you to play it. I'm going to be playing it too, of course. I made it. I want to try it out really bad, actually. And I will be doing that very soon. But I want you guys to try it. Leave your recommendations in the comments. Leave how you feel about it. And as I go along with these, I just want you guys to communicate with me and tell me what you think about them. And some of the more popular ones we will revisit eventually. And so I want them, I don't want them to feel polished yet, because they will eventually. The ones that are really good and the ones that you guys like, we are going to revisit them and we're going to polish them and we're going to fully release them. But everything is going to be free. So try it out. Why not? You have it for free. I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to be working on a genre for that one. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but I have some ideas for it. And it'll be something different than this. We're going to do that every week. It's going to change genres. It's going to change play styles. So I'll see you guys then when I do that. Thank you.